Flash Gordon?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you playing with the character Flash. The reason I say is I watched.
I don't have a Flash Gordon character. I do like that movie. It was a cool movie.
Okay. Well, I watched it for the first time as an adult just yesterday, half of it. And then I fell asleep. The reason I mention that is because that has got Freemason logos on all the bad characters, the evil characters.
Ooh. Do you want to just skip all the way to the Protocols of the Elder of Zion?
No.
I know how this episode ends. No, I've seen this one before.
The leader Ming has a Freemason logo on him, and all his deputies. That proves that NASA lied to us, and Buzz Aldrin lied to us, and the Freemasons lied to us.
Yeah. Now do the one about blood libel.
No one's mentioning blood libels. You're the only person mentioning them.
No, wait.
Are you saying that lies are a bad thing then? You don't like NASA lying to you? Are you suggesting lying is bad?
It did its job.
I mean, if you're suggesting that lying is bad, then why would you then go lie to your friend about his cat piss smelling house and just offer him a candle and pretend like, it's not nothing?
He's the Grand Architect of the universe. That's the Freemason leader.
Where's the Freemason symbols?
Okay, well...
here we go.
So, he's the leader. He doesn't need to wear the logo.
Oh, okay. So
it's his deputies. Click on the guys wearing the black clothing, who are his deputies. Go on images.
Clothing? Oh, man.
Ooh, Riz, if you can hear yourself now.
Shit. And these guys?
Or just type Flash Gordon Freemason logo. I'm sure it will show you lots of examples then.
Okay, let's see that. Freemason. And what is this going to prove when they have a Freemason?
Yeah, there. Can you see the logo on the top left? That is on every one of their suits. That is a Freemason logo. There you go. That's the bad guy. See there?
That's pretty creative.
Why is a film from the 1980s? No. That's exactly the Freemason logo or the sigil of Lucifer.
I think Freemasons are bad guys.
Don't say it's exactly.
Okay, alright, I won't say exactly then. Whatever the boss says, I'll follow Globy.
No, man, it's got 4 lines. Lots of things got 4 lines, man.
So here's the Freemason logo. It's a compass.
A square and a compass.
With a square and a G. Let's go back.
The G is the Grand Architect.
2 triangles, just 2 triangles over each other.
No, that's clearly a sideways Green Lantern symbol.
Okay, both of them are the same size. Both of them are the same size. Okay.
No, bro. That is 2 Star Trek symbols mirroring each other.
You're right. They look exactly the same.
Okay. Can you also?
Do you know what it means?
Let's put them next to each other.
Yeah.
Yes, they're the same.
Exactly the same, Riz. Let's be honest.
Extend the lines of the ruler of the compass.
Oh, I have to change the Freemason logo to make it match.
Yes.
Okay, alright. Can you type
Alright, next.
Well, you got to make it like Nashaw, and you just take this letter and you remove the letter, and then it sounds...
They're exactly the same. Just change it. Just make it different.
If you look at Denver International Airport, it's a swastika, even though it has 7 arms, which is 3 more than the normal size of swastika. It's exactly the same.
Listen, I'll be the first to admit that the majority of Freemasons are charitable, genuine, nice individuals, but the top-ranking ones are sleeping with the enemy, which is...
Do you have anything?
First, admit that these are not the same symbol. Can we first?
No, I would not admit that. I would say that they are the same symbol.
Can you admit they're not the same symbol?
Just trying to get everybody over here.
Not exactly the same. Thank you. Next point.
How about, can you search up the sigil of Lucifer? And then you'll
keep searching up for your unicorns. It's my favorite thing to do ever.
No, it's not unicorn. You search sigil of Lucifer and you'll see the same shape.
Riz, do you sit in a garden under a tree of good and evil or of expansion and growth? Just out of curiosity.
In a tree of the tree is not of good and evil. It's of a kingdom that wastes not away.
Yeah, there's
knowledge.
2 trees.
Mom, don't let me out.
One good and evil or growth and expansion.
Buffalo, do you live in reality or just in your head?
Oh, row.
What the hell did you just say, Buffalo?
What's left?
So there's two trees. A good and
She's
evil
out there, man.
and a growth and expansion. Which tree do you sit under?
I sit under the tree of growth and expansion.
Thank you. I'm just
I
checking.
have to meditate.
It confused him enough to shut him up, so I liked it.
I chopped down the life tree and burn it with hellfire.
All right, let's. Besides Riz, we got any flat Earth? We got Jesse joining.
Hoping to get people over here. I had like 150.
Riz, do you take requests? I'd really like to hear something about the Rothschilds if you have it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Everybody tap that screen and share with the live, man.
Yes, thank you. Tap to
I
thank you.
live in the old Rockefeller Bank.
Yeah, Atomic, I'm the professor of most knowledge on TikTok. Yeah, so I'm the leader in every field.
Jesse,
yeah.
where do you stand?
Gotcha.
There's like 200 people that could be over here. Let's share it out.
What about you guys at the anything on Skinwalker Ranch?
No, not Skinwalker. We're talking about NASA. You guys want to know why NASA's fake?
Yes. Let's hear it.
All right. The Apollo 11 mission, it's not possible to send radio waves from two-way radios back to Earth.
Okay, source.
NASA itself.
Okay, source.
NASA itself. I can go over the whole thing if you want to give me
That's
the
what I'm asking you.
That's fucking
Please.
Dan.
By the way, we get fucking.
That's Dan Mercer.
Dan Mercer is always on about the radio frequencies, despite the fact that the service module had a high frequency transmitter on it.
Yeah, no, but
That's just Dan on a different.
PLSS did not. The PLSS used low frequency.
Yeah, of the two things that you could have refuted, the one was the accusation of you being Dan Mercer.
No, you went with it.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
okay, really is.
the PLSS operated in low frequency, and it was
Okay,
picked
so
up by a
what
radio antenna.
are the two requirements of radio communication that determine whether a signal can be transmitted?
Well, in order for it to get to the ionosphere, it can't be low frequency. That's the first big glaring problem.
Low frequency. What frequency would they transmit on?
Well, Apollo 11 was transmitting on S-band, right? But it was picked up on a low frequency ham radio antenna by a guy in Kentucky. So
I think you mean
there's a big
Australia.
problem right there.
I never heard about
The
it.
guy's name was Basinger. Baysinger. It's a real famous story. Well, it's been covered up by NASA, but
Was his first name Kim?
I think that was Australia.
no, it wasn't Kim Basinger. Yeah.
It's weird that you're still doing
pretty easy
that
to look
effect on
at.
your voice. We know who you are.
It's pretty easy to look up, you guys.
So John, you're saying that repeat what you said again. What was faked? What was not real?
Okay, so you have this guy in Kentucky, and he's got an antenna, 8x10 antenna, and he picks up the two astronauts on the moon talking on a two-way radio. Two-way radio that has a radius of 100 miles max.
Okay.
And then on top of that, they were transmitting in low frequency. So low frequency doesn't penetrate the ionosphere and go all the way back to Earth. It just doesn't happen. Low frequency is what ham radio operators use to bounce off the ionosphere to get to another spot on Earth.
Okay. And how do we know that this was actually the astronauts that were on the moon? I mean, is this
Because he recorded the astronauts talking to each other while they were talking to Nixon, and you can't hear Nixon in the recording because Nixon's on the S-band, which is encrypted. So what that does is it proves that they weren't on the moon, because otherwise how could this guy's antenna pick up the conversation?
So do you think they broadcasted that story? I'm just curious about the psychology of it. Do you think they
About
published?
Basinger?
Yeah, they published this story about how these guys
they published
listened to Neil talk to Buzz between the two of them. You think they published that?
if you look at the specs on the PLSS, the radios that they were carrying were two-way radios that were low frequency, and then low frequency goes to the lunar module, and then it's made into S-band, and then it goes from the lunar module as S-band to California is where it goes, not to Australia, which is also another thing that NASA reports, that it went to Australia, but that's not the truth. It went to California.
So do you believe that the moon landing was fake?
Well, that right there, that puts a big hole in it, because it just by the law of radio, how do you transmit from walkie-talkies all the way down to Earth? Explain that.
How can you be
walkie-talkies transmit all the way to Earth?
How can you be a Cold War vet and a Gen Xer?
What do you mean? I was born in 65.
Are you a Gen Xer?
Yeah, Gen X is the first year, 65.
What?
Yeah, the first year of Gen X is 65.
Level where you thinking of Generation Z?
Maybe. I don't know. I have to look that up. Don't talk to me, you anti-Semitic fuck.
Quiet, Nate.
I'm not anti-Semitic. I just read some stuff that said that the numbers weren't correct on, the genocide.
God damn it! I wasn't talking to you, but I know you are too.
No, I'm really not. I just one time I made a comment, so then someone used a dog whistle because they don't like to hear information that pops their bubble.
Yeah, I mean,
Guys.
I don't know you well enough to know whether or not you're, dishonest.
All right, thank you, man. I'm out.
I don't know whether you're dishonest person or not, but I mean, you come with a story that maybe it's plausible under circumstances that they were trying to be deceptive, but I think you have to be leaning that way in order for it to buy into these kind of like urban legend stories. Did he leave? Is he gone? Okay, adios. Oh, he's right there, Whitehorn. Sorry. I prefer yellow corn, by the way. I'm sorry.
All right, so here we go. Since someone let Nathan up here, go ahead, Nathan. Proof flat Earth. Let's hear it.
Oh no, I just wanted to show you guys the greatest achievement in human history.
I'm sorry. Can you prove our Earth's flatness?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, the first problem with the globe is that, like, if the curvature was there, we would be able to observe it. So with a radius value of 3,959 miles, that would give a geometric horizon for a 1 foot observer about 1.22 miles out. Now, even if you account for standard refraction, that'll extend the horizon out to like 1.35, 1.4-ish, but it's nowhere near 9 miles. So the Gaussian coefficient of K is like a standard amount of refraction for land surveying. And you can only measure in reality like magnitudes of plus or minus 2.
Hold on, I gotta write that down. Try to remember that.
That's all right.
What stupid thing you said to define refraction?
I'll teach you reality, Globie.
Gaussian coefficient of K.
I think I used to say Gaussian. I think it's Gaussian, but I don't know. I'm not, pretending to be PhD Twitch. So
no, you're saying stupid big things to make the word for refraction. You're saying Gaussian coefficient of K.
Yeah, that's a standard amount of refraction for land surveying. It comes out to 0.13. So you can.
We were trying to remember the things you were that phrase. We were trying to remember that earlier because you tried to say that to as a gotcha to everybody. Like nobody was going to know what that was.
Well, have you seen that?
But none of you guys knew what it was. So you're still trying to figure it out.
No, that was the funny part. Josh Hasselblad goes, "What was that stupid thing he said?" And you immediately said, "Oh, refraction." And he said, "Yeah." I immediately said refraction. because that's what that is. That's what you're talking about. It's the coefficient of K. You're talking about the coefficient of refraction. But instead of just saying that, you call it the Gaussian coefficient of K.
Yeah, it's the standard amount of refraction for land surveying.
Oh, thanks. So why not just say that? Why say something stupid like the Gaussian coefficient of K?
Well, cause that's what it's called if you want to look it up.
No, that's you trying to sound smart,
Well,
right?
yeah, no, you're right. I'm a silly flirt.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So, can you prove flat Earth, please?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I can prove the
Can you show me a
moon
flat Earth
landing is
measurement?
fake.
That's what I really want to see. A flat Earth measurement. Flat Earth.
Just go right here, man.
All right, so
NASA, there's your page 2-99. Gives the frequencies and everything. Tells you everything you need to know. It's in the NASA literature.
I'm sorry.
They prove themselves that their shit is fake. NASA MSC
Do you have that
dash
pulled up so we can all view it?
01372.
Yeah, can we see that? No, you know what?
I just have my cell phone on me right now, so I'm sorry I don't have a laptop.
I was asking Nathan for a measurement of flat
But
Earth.
anyways, here's the page number. I'm sorry, Globey. It's page 2-99. And in it, you'll find that they tell you what the frequency is. It's 0.3 to 2.3 is what these guys were broadcasting in with their radios. And it's picked up on Earth by a guy with a chicken wire antenna. That's impossible.
Oh, you're going on that thing.
Yeah,
It's impossible, bro.
I don't buy the story. I'm sorry.
I'm willing to bet it's not impossible. But that's a different topic. I'd have to go look at some frequencies and see what you're talking about. Anyway, Earth is flat. Measurements? Anybody?
yes. So the horizon, even if you include standard refraction, the Gaussian coefficient of K for land surveying, get the horizon to be, let me click this, 1.31 miles out. So with no refraction at all whatsoever, it'd be 1.22 miles out. Now in nature, they've measured plus or minus magnitudes of 2 for the Gaussian coefficient of K. But there's no amount of refraction in nature ever verified or tested or observed where you could have the horizon 9.5 miles out or more, because that would essentially make the radius value of the Earth 240,000 miles, which is the orbital path of the moon on the heliocentric model.
Yeah. That's kind of meaningless what you just said.
So not
So you're talking about refraction again. I asked you for a measurement of flat Earth.
Yeah, for sure. I can show my screen. Hold on one second.
Don't really care about refraction because.
So refraction doesn't matter now?
Oh, it matters. You guys love to ignore it.
Okay.
Ignore it in every observation you make.
He's smacking
So
you all
I'm
in the
not
face with
ignoring
it
it
right now, though.
How about the salt?
So what's your problem? What's your problem with my argument now? I'm not ignoring it now.
You didn't make an argument.
Yeah, I did. I talked about how.
Cite your source that there's never been a measurement of refraction over 2.
Okay, but Globe, you understand, if I have a source and that's true, then you can't be a Glober anymore, dude.
Good, show it. Show your source.
Yeah, no, I can. I have one.
You understand? You know what a coefficient means, right?
Don't worry, Globey. I have a source.
You mean a coefficient means it goes from 0 to 1.
I have a source, Globey.
So you saying it's 2 automatically means you're not talking about the same thing.
Globey, we off topic now. I turn your globe into mush, and then I show you my source, okay? Don't be gypsy.
Oh, sure. Let me give you the big box. I don't want to be selfish. I'm not going to sit here and mute you like you do to me when I'm on other people's lives.
It's so classic.
That wouldn't be productive, right? Like asking me about a test you're going to do in December, and how I would explain that, because you don't have any evidence of that, so I don't have to explain it, right?
You want to talk about how you kicked me when I asked for a video from a balloon and proof that it was a rectilinear lens, and you said,
Globey,
just look at the picture.
Globey, I'm a romantic man. I'm not a violent man, so I would never kick you.
You absolutely kicked me.
No, gravity dropped you from the panel, bro. You got dropped by gravity. It was not my fault.
It's about somebody that presents common sense to you, buddy.
It pulls all things down, right? So like I'm going to pull this refraction bar down over here, to somewhat a little bit closer to reality. Like near the Gaussian coefficient of K, because I'm going to try and sound smart, like Globey said.
Of K.
So here, with the Gaussian coefficient K, I find this interesting, right? You go up here to distance on surface. I don't know if you can read this, but it's 1.314. 314 is pi, like 3.1415926535897933246643383795028419716939375105820997. So that's
Shut
pi,
the fuck
right?
up and make a point.
All right, so now if we go down here to the refraction bar, and let's pretend it's a globe, right? And we have to make the distance of the surface 9 miles, because that's what we see. Well, then we go down here to this refraction bar, and we change the refraction index to, let's just say, what do we have here? 0.28. Let's go even further. Let's go 0.5.
I thought you said it was over 2.
Yeah, it can't be over plus or minus a magnitude of 2, Globey, and we're already over a magnitude of 2 with 0.5.
Can you max the slider right now? Max
Yeah, I
it.
could, but I just want to show that with over a magnitude of 2, we go up here and
a
the
magnitude of 2, that's 0.2.
That's
right?
0.2. Okay, so if you take
Isn't that the coefficient of Gaussian bullshit? It's 0.2, right?
bro, it's called the Gaussian coefficient of K, and it's 0.13. So what's the
Beautiful. So I can't really read it. So 0.13. So you understand 0.13 isn't 13, right? Isn't 13? Like there's a point there.
Yeah, of course. So if it's only capable of reaching magnitudes of plus or minus 2, Globey, what would
What's
that
2? What's plus or minus 2? That's what I don't get. I don't get what you're saying.
plus or minus magnitude of 2?
What does that mean?
Okay, so let me just rewind the refraction bar.
Rewind it, please, because the refraction bar
Hold
goes
on,
from
rewinding.
0 to 1.
I'm rewinding, bro. Hold on. All right, now we're back near the Gaussian coefficient of K. You can even click this button right here. It's the Gaussian coefficient of K. It's on your guys' Earth curve calculator, bro. I don't know how I have to teach you guys this, but so let me scroll down. The Gaussian coefficient of K is 0.13. You can only have magnitudes of plus or minus 2 of 0.13. So does anyone on the panel want to pretend they know what that is?
You apparently do.
All right, yeah, exactly. I do. Does anyone on the panel want to pretend they do?
You apparently want to pretend you know what that is.
Like Gaussian, dude, I had to teach you how to write it down. You didn't even know what it was when I showed up. Gaussian.
Everyone knew it was refraction. I said it from the beginning. You're just using big words to sound smart.
So you didn't know what it was.
That's what you got from what I just said.
So you're not smart.
Nathan, do you eat paint chips?
All right, now, all right, gotcha.
0.13 is not a magnitude of 2.
I never said it was. I said you can only have magnitude of plus or minus 2 from the coefficient of K, which is 0.13.
Okay, so make the coefficient of K a magnitude of 2, please, right now.
No. Here's what I have to do for your globe religion. And then I'll just drop the
Make
mic.
it a magnitude of 2, you said. Can you make it
know.
a magnitude of 2?
I know, but here's what I'm going to do for your globe religion, right? So this says standard. You guys just read your Earth curve calculator, right? This is standard. So I'm going to slide this refraction bar all the way to the very, very, very tip.
Which
Watch.
is going to end at 1, which is 100%.
All right, so now we have a distance on surface of, that's 5.2 miles. We have increased the radius value of the Earth to 72,000 miles, and we have a coefficient of K of 0.94.
Okay, what is your
So the
point?
problem is we have an observation called the Black Swan where the horizon is past 9.5 miles, and you guys can't even get past 6 with ridiculous. Look at this. This says.
Why can you only see 6 miles, Nathan?
I'll zoom in here. This is an extreme amount of refraction. This is not a real amount of refraction. This is not a reoccurring amount of refraction. This is not a testable or measurable amount of refraction. So you can go Google your religion, Globey, but you're cooked. It's over.
Nathan, why can you only see 6 miles?
You can't see only 6 miles. Well, I have an observation where you can see a horizon
Why
from a
can you
one.
only see 9 miles?
That's a 1 foot observer, and the horizon is past 9.5 miles. So I don't know what you're asking.
Why can you only see 9 miles? That's what I'm asking.
I never claimed that. That's a begging the question fallacy.
Well, that was the observation you brought up. 9 mile horizon.
All right, you want me to teach you another word, Globey, so I can sound smart? You know what petitio principi is? Are you having fun yet, Globey?
No,
Do you know what?
I'd like you to actually address a point.
Do you know what I am addressing a point. Your point was a fallacy. It's called
Okay,
petitio
what was the observer height?
principi.
What was the observer
Globey,
height?
have you ever heard of petitio principi?
No, because we're going to do something fun right now, Nathan. Watch this. It's called not lying. Watch this. You're not using the section of the tool that puts in observer height.
Yeah.
Observer
You think I
height.
can put an observer height?
Oh, I'm going to do it right for you. 1 foot. Isn't that what you said? I think so. Okay, let's slide this refraction bar to 1.999999, which isn't, a factor of 2. We'll move past that. That's 100% refraction. That puts the distance on surface at 122 miles. So who's the toaster oven? You or, I don't know. And I'll move it down for you here. Let's slide it back down. Let's see. Slide it down as I go. 1 mile, and I'll slide it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it jumps to 122 all the way up at 100%.
Yeah, can you go to the refraction index over there? Can you click on the refraction? Hold on, no.
There it
There's
is
a
right there.
Globey, there's a refraction tab. Can you click on the refraction tab?
Sure.
Yeah, hold on. Now, real carefully. Now, zoom in.
Okay.
Hold on.
No.
Look at your radius value.
Oh, yeah, it increases the radius.
39 million.
Okay, what's your point?
You just increased the radius value of the Earth to 39 million miles.
Yeah, because I increased the refraction to 100%. It's essentially a straight line.
So if we don't see the curvature on the horizon from going away from us, because the horizon is too far and the radius value would be 39 million miles, how did you come up with a radius value of 3,959 miles?
I'm sorry. Did you just say you can increase the coefficient, the Gaussian coefficient of K to a factor of 2, and it still doesn't get you to 9 miles? And I just showed you that you're 100% incorrect. It's 122. So I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, but
lie
to
everybody as you show that, but I literally just did it live for everybody here.
Gaussian coefficient of K is 0.13.
Just 1 second. Nathan's actually right on
You
this.
can't increase it
No,
to
he's
0.999999. That's not a magnitude of 2.
Globey, you can't
Exactly.
take the radius
There's
value
no
of
such
the
thing as a magnitude of 2. A coefficient goes from 0 to 1. 0 being 0, 1 being 100%.
But we've only measured magnitudes of plus or minus 2 of the standard amount of refraction, which is 0.13. So you can't increase it to 0.99999 and make the radius value of the Earth 39 million miles and say, look, it works fine on my globe.
Let's see where it is.
You just increased the radius value to 39 million miles, Globey.
No, I didn't. 9 miles.
You just showed it on screen. I'm recording.
Let's see. 9 miles.
Don't say no, you didn't.
I hope you're recording it, and then you're going to delete this very quickly. So a refraction of 0.88 gets you to 9 miles.
No, that's 9.1. The platform is 9.5. So you're not there yet. But go to the radius value.
Okay.
Go to the radius value.
9.5. All right.
Go to the radius
a bit
value.
more for you.
Globey, go to the radius value.
0.89 gets you to 9.5 miles.
Okay, go to the radius value. Go back to the refraction tab. Click on it, because I can do it for the audience, bro. They can come to my
It
screen.
doesn't matter what the radius value is.
Everyone here can come to my screen and watch me do it. Bro.
Extends the horizon, Nathan.
I know, but that's an ungodly, unmeasurable amount of refraction.
Doesn't
that's never
matter.
been observed.
What we
It's
all
never been
saw was
observed.
you don't know how to use a calculator.
You didn't know what it was, so I'm trying to teach you what this is. It's never been observed, Globey.
Nice straw man.
Go back
You didn't know how to use the calculator. You said it's impossible to get to 9 miles, even with 100% refraction.
Go back
You
to
said
the
it was impossible to
go
get
back
9
to
miles.
the refraction tab, bro.
You lied.
Go back to the refraction tab. Are you scared? Now show everyone the radius. Show everyone the radius.
6,000 miles.
36,000 miles. Is that 4,000 miles?
That that's not a real number, right?
So the radius of the Earth is not a real number.
Not this number. This number moves with the refraction. That's the apparent radius.
Okay,
with
but
almost 100% refraction.
here's your problem, though, Globey. If we don't see the curvature of the Earth away from us, like boats don't go over the geometric curve.
Oh, we do.
Hold on, and we don't see the curvature from 120,000 feet left to right. Then there's no curvature observed. Welcome to flat Earth, bro. You're cooked.
Welcome to flat Earth. Do you remember when you actually discovered Earth was a globe earlier tonight?
Welcome to flat Earth, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Do you want to go over that again? Like, I can't believe you came back in here after you discovered Earth was a globe.
Yep, and also, like I have on screen, I know you won't make a big screen, but anyone can Google this. How far can I see the horizon? It's 3.1 miles, and you just told everyone you can see the horizon 122 miles from a 1 foot observer height.
Yeah,
which
10 miles is ideal conditions with no refraction from
but with
6 foot observer's height.
But with ungodly, unlimited amounts of refraction, you can make the horizon 100 miles out, bro. Cool story.
Yeah,
You're
refraction bends light. Guess what you can't see? Anything past 9 miles.
You guys are cooked, bro. Thanks for playing, Globey. I appreciate you having me up.
Cool, absolutely. You want to see a rectilinear lens rocket flight to 300,000 feet so you can no left to right curvature. I'll skip it since I know you have a short attention span. Here's 200,000 feet, I think, at this point. Oh, he ran away. 250,000 feet.
Can I just say that dude's an absolute coward? Like I've seen people in his lives that have salient points and just really hold his feet to the fire. He boosts them. He's just joke.
He's the absolute worst. He just says stupid shit and then leaves.
Okay, Globey, I've got to agree with
his
you
lie.
on one
He'd
point.
just kick me, right? He'd say stupid shit and then kick me.
Look, the radius value should not change, Globey. If the radius value changes,
It's a calculated radius based on the refraction number, Riz.
no. But what? Even with refraction, the radius value should remain the same. Otherwise, what you're saying is, as refraction occurs, the Earth changes size.
No, Riz, as refraction occurs, the curve flattens. As refraction occurs, the curve flattens of the circle.
That number, radius r, the apparent radius here is going to change as I decrease refraction. Or increase it, it's going to increase. That's
Bob,
a calculated
science
number
guy did the calculations for Black Swan, and it perfectly matched the observation deck that's like 50 feet above sea level missing, and it matched perfectly with it. He literally did a YouTube video on it.
We all have. They keep going back to this 12-year-old thing that's meaningless.
Did Nathan just bring up that you can see the horizon 3.1 miles before the curve of the Earth obscures it?
Yeah.
Like literally the thing he brought up says the curve of the Earth right after he left it up for just long enough to get to 3.1. The next sentence is the curve of the Earth.
Well, that's propaganda.
But how do you use something that says the Earth's curved as your evidence for anything?
They all do. He keeps bringing up a paper that Riz showed him, you fucker, that shows a HUD, a heads-up display unit of an aircraft in the 70s. They were testing the heads-up display on how well it could calculate or detect the horizon dip, which, as we know, the horizon dip occurs because Earth is curved. The higher you go, the more the horizon drops from your eye level. So there's a calculated amount, and then there's the measured amount that they measured through the heads-up display of this aircraft. They were trying to see how accurate it was, and he keeps bringing that up as proof of flat Earth because when it was very cloudy out, the system had trouble determining the horizon dip because it was cloudy. It couldn't fucking see the horizon. But when it was moderately cloudy and hazy, it was spot on, right? And literally above the chart he always shows the paragraph right above it says, "This is all caused because of the globe Earth, because of the shape of the Earth." It literally says that, but he keeps bringing that up as evidence of fucking flat Earth. It's just fucking mind-boggling. How stupid these guys are.
I just want to absolute moron.
I just want to talk about how
Dip kicked Level for claiming that the horizon, that you could observe the horizon dip, and then Nathan comes on and provides documents that shows how what you should observe for measured horizon dip at 35,000 feet, and it's like 2.5 degrees, 3.5 degrees. And then he's literally proving the fact that the horizon falls away with elevation, and Dip kicked Level for saying the exact same thing.
That was the.
Would you like me to get my drone now? Would you like to get my drone video out, which I could show the horizon at different heights?
Like not 2 minutes later after he kicked me, Nathan.
Yeah, it was like 90 seconds.
Nathan, my favorite thing about Nathan, I think, at this point, is he said that jets don't use jet fuel.
What are he's on that conspiracy?
So they just fucking use fairy dust or some shit apparently to fly.
Oh, he's still in the chat. Hey,
Yeah,
stop using the Black Swan.
Yeah,
We
Globy,
all
you
have
made it
seen-
into a echo chamber. Can you get some flat earthers in here? I don't like too many globers.
I want Nathan to state how he thinks jets work, because I will make a miniature jet engine just for him.
Man, I'll drop a flat earther if one wants to come up.
Yeah, I'll make a.
I'm a flat earther, and Jets use JP5.
It's pretty late. I'm tired, so
I will eliminate the entire panel and let Nathan come up.
That means you too, Riz.
No, that's what he wants.
I'm not budging.
He does want that.
I want to ask
But
you
he won't do it.
Well, I want to ask you a quick question. I'm gonna head out so you guys can have my space or whatever. But I always revert back to just kind of the simplest metric of observation, and that is a telescope. Any person can go buy a telescope, aim it up in the sky, see other celestial bodies that are round, and show different sides of them. Why is that not? We get lost in the details sometimes, and when you think about it, these are very easy observations to make. I mean, I don't understand why these guys deny that. You have 7,
Well, they'll say you can't see the other side of the planet, even though if you time lapse it long enough, you can see the planets rotate.
So,
Forget that. They'll say it's just
because NASA's own records prove that the Apollo mission is fake. That's the starting point. Once you realize that, then everything else starts to unfold.
Except for all their records.
Yeah, except for the retroreflector laser experiment that you can do yourself.
Except for all their fucking records.
There's no way two-way
They're fucking
radios
tons.
transmitted all the way to Earth, bro.
Except for
It didn't
India
happen.
flying by the moon recently, taking pictures and finding the lunar lander on the moon with its shadow.
Russia,
Just
China,
go back to
Japan.
69. Go back to 69.
I'm sorry, I'm
They're
gonna
lying
have
in
to,
69.
I'm gonna have to use a flat Earth statement, which is, well, I got images of Bigfoot. Yeah.
images of Bigfoot.
Jesse, I just want to clarify.
Yours are blurry though. Ours are nice and crisp.
Yeah. I know one thing no one's ever seen: Riz's brain, because that doesn't exist.
Riz, what did you say?
Yeah, Jesse, what I was going to say is I'm the leading astronomer professor of science on TikTok. I've imaged the planets, I've time-lapsed the planets, I've seen the rotations of the planets, but I will still tell you right now that the Earth is flat. So you must understand.
Why are we the only frisbee-shaped planet in the solar system?
Oh man. Hey, Glebby, thanks for having me up, brother. I just wanted to hop on just to put it out there that Bob the Science Guy already smashed the Black Swan.
Oh yeah, he did.
Bullshit that Nathan likes to parrot.
You're all a bunch of paid actors.
Oh, I needed you earlier, man. I was on
Nathan is just
Shapes
so-
Live with Fred.
Oh, Fred was funny.
Guys, have a great night. I'll balance up, and you guys have a good weekend.
You too.
Oh, by the way, I'm
Hey, Block, man.
100% done with Command's Live.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Globby.
It's nice.
I'm gonna
Commanders
mess
are
up.
good hosts.
Sometimes time goes by and I'm like, you know what? Let's forgive and forget, and I'll give him that. And every time, he fucking disappoints. So
the worst wishy-washy nonsense.
Sleep Commander's a good host.
Just
Let
need
go.
a shared
Riz, no, he's not.
experience.
This sounds like an echo chamber in here, bro. Just an echo chamber. I gotta
I
filter
just-
this.
So
This ain't even scientific.
What frequency is the S-band?
He left.
Let's talk about it.
I'm honestly,
Come back in, bro. Don't leave. Fuck.
Globy, I'm so glad I can be up in this.
Technically, Nathan said he would come back up.
I'm so glad I can be in this panel with actually people in the chat like Nathan.
Oh,
And
Globy,
I'm not being muted. It's
let me get big screen. I'm going to show you my drone.
Isn't it weird how he was in here for like a half hour and I didn't mute him? Not weird.
Yeah, isn't it? It's weird how I can talk. I don't. It's fucking bizarre.
So weird.
He is a paid actor.
Globy, give me big screen and I'll show you this video I took with my own drone.
Got kicked by who? Who'd you get kicked by? You didn't get kicked. Don't kick.
Is Nathan coming back in?
Yeah, Nathan, come back in. Now that you can't mute me. Yeah.
Globy, can I have light screen so I can show you the horizon and multiple horizons?
John says I'm leaving and then says he got kicked.
Yeah, he said I'm leaving and left. And
You said I'm leaving. There's no science here, and you left, and then so you
I know.
somebody kicked him.
I said that, but then you guys started to actually listen to me for a little bit, so I will stay. I will stay around. I mean, I'm not trying to give you a bunch of bullshit.
You didn't get kicked.
No, but
Just
you
did
didn't
some
get
research.
Oh, you a flat
So you didn't get kicked.
Like kick
No,
when you were down, but you're back up.
So you lied.
Out, and I got kicked.
It's
I got
gotten so
kicked.
bad. There's someone in chat trying to
so
manipulate.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I want to get into specifics. What frequency is the S-band that NASA uses?
Oh, this is a great question. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the graph here.
You can look it up. That's fine. I don't care if you're gonna look it up. Look, just what is it?
John, where do you get your information?
Okay, so let's see here.
I'm not feeling arguments.
S-band's right there. S-band's right there. So it's right below 3 gigahertz.
Right. So it's anywhere from between 2 and 4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it big. Hold on. Ain't working.
Okay, so my point is that the radios that the astronauts were using on the moon were below this.
3
See, the
kilohertz.
PLSS transmits at 0.3 to 2.3,
0.3 to 2.3.
and that was picked up on Earth by a ham radio guy named Basinger, and he picked it up before the thing was broadcast on TV, of course. And in his recording, you cannot hear Nixon; you can only hear the 2 astronauts. When you look it up online, it'll say that he's picking up high frequency, but then you look up the PLSS, and it says it transmitted at 0.3 to 2.3. So it's just a nice little tweak, a little lie in there.
To 2.3 kilohertz.
Yes, sir.
But AM is like, I think it's like 500 to 1600 kilohertz. So what? 2.3 way not AM. So what's your source? What's your source saying that that's what they were training?
Okay, so that comes from NASA, and I have the page. I mean, I just keep going.
Sometimes I'm looking at your book here, and sometimes I wish you guys put some sort of effort into something constructive, because I think you might be good at it. If you just contributed to society, like there could be something good coming out of this.
By stopping your lies, that's exactly what we're doing.
I'm sorry. Did you
great.
say
I'm just-
something?
I'm not trying to lie. I'm just trying to figure out frequencies.
Just invent some shit, guys. Invent some shit. Research some shit.
Fuck.
We're changing the world.
Could accomplish something in life. If just
Why don't you have any evidence for a globe Earth? That's all we want.
We have a shit.
All you want,
Nick, there's so much evidence.
I've got pictures of unicorns. Does that make a unicorn real?
You're just a fucking liar, man. Shut up.
No, it's just It's exhausting. I don't know how you guys do
It's
this.
exhausting. No, it's exhausting, Nick. Is showing you measurements of Earth's curvature and you just saying, it's not fucking true.
A measurement
Nuh-uh.
isn't reality.
A measurement's not reality because tape measures don't fucking work. Nuh-uh.
What kind of accent is that?
I don't know. It's some mixture between your horse shit and...
Sounded nothing like me.
John, is it your personal belief that the moon is inside the firmament, and that's why you believe that the radio could be reached inside?
No, absolutely not. The moon is outside the firmament, as is the sun.
Curious if that's where you were standing.
Hey, John, are the sun and the moon the same size?
I don't know. I've never been close enough to judge how big they are. And if we're looking through a firmament, then I would say that, our optics are skewed.
Okay,
I've
are
got
they
someone
the
looking
same
for this bed right now.
Is it me or does Saint Nick kind of sound like old Greg?
I don't know, dude.
Don't even know who that is.
I just did this research on NASA.com, and then the other one is the ARRL.org.
So my question is, why
all
is
you guys do is
why is
trying to
NASA telling the
personal
truth here,
character.
but lies all the
Have any
other
evidence
times?
of anything? What if does the sun and moon rise in the east and set in the west? Both of them. Is that how that works?
They appear to.
Because when you see the alleged eclipse, how come the moon is going from west to east?
For fuck's sake.
Go the other way, bro.
Saint Nick? Really?
What you doing in my waters?
Just seriously, are you serious, Saint Nick?
100% serious. Why are they coming? Are they supposed to? They follow the same path? Do they not?
This is a good point because if you do the math, it actually proves exactly that it's a globe. I can do the math on my whiteboard for you. If you plug in, I called you the math on my
How did you get there from that, mate?
Y'all can explain words, but I'll write it down and I'll show you when I'm finished.
Well, the math is going to be way too complicated. Let's start with the basics.
Okay.
Which way does the moon?
I'm old Greg.
Which way does the moon orbit the Earth, Nick?
It's supposed to be east to west.
No.
Right, how can it rise in the east and set in the west if it's not going east to west?
The Earth is rotating.
Yeah, it's not rotating at all. It's everything above our head is moving.
No.
You asked
You just asked why our model does what it does. I told you why, and you said no, because it doesn't.
We're talking about my model. We're talking about the model.
No, we're talking about you said the shadow can't be casted a certain way on the globe.
I never said anything about a shadow. We're talking about the eclipse.
The eclipse, yes.
That's what it is.
The alleged moon
You
is
said shadow.
from the
Oh
west
my
side.
I gotta explain to you your fucking point.
What?
The eclipse is a shadow.
You're trying to derail.
Are you serious?
What was your point about the
It's
eclipse?
about the where's the moon entering from? Which side is it entering the sun from? You tell me that.
Same point.
What side the sun?
No, it's not the same point. Why don't you just answer my question? Which side is the moon entering the sun and exiting the sun? Which way is it going? Is it going east to west or west to east?
The sun.
Tumbleweed rolling. What's going on, guys?
The sun is going from east to west, Saint Nick.
The major globe fools. What's going on?
Showed you?
Do I need to draw a picture? I'm just thinking about where my crayons are.
You never see the moon during an eclipse. You'd never see the moon enter or exit the sun. Nobody's ever witnessed it. However, the eclipse starts from the other side, as if they're going in opposite directions. And if it's said to be the moon, how's that possible? So what's the moon done? It's overlapped the sun and then come back on itself? You guys don't understand yet.
No.
Hey, Nick, they make a Lego set for this. That might help.
How do you explain something so simple to someone? It's a conundrum.
Could you learn to love me?
Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 20.
I drew a visualization for you if you'd like to see it.
I get that question a lot, though. It's okay.
They don't like
Since you're
drawings.
I think it was just the way you said, yeah, bitch.
All right, well, hold on. Let's finish one topic at a time. So John's been patiently waiting. What's your source for the frequency of what they were transmitting at?
Okay, yes, sir. It's NASA. Oops, I just lost the box. Anyways, it's NASA MSC Page 2-99.
NASA
Apollo Operation
MST
Handbook.
Page 2-99 Apollo Handbook.
Yeah, Apollo Operation Handbook. And then it gives you the frequency 0.3 to 2.3. That's what the radio
Apollo
transmitted
Operations
the
Handbook,
two-way radios.
Command and Service Module. So that's not a good sign. What page?
299.
$2.99. So this is the Apollo Operations Handbook Systems Data. It looks like a diagram. Is that what we're looking at? Figure 2.5-3 SM. Or
It'll just say it in print. It'll yeah.
Right.
I mean, it might be in the diagram, but it's just in written common English.
Yes, it's
just give
damn
you the
for
specs.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing that here, so I don't. That's not the right page.
Can I ask a question? Why is NASA always lying except for this instance?
Well, they think they're
Always
pointing
is
out
pretty broad.
inconsistencies. They don't think NASA's telling the truth here. They think they're pointing out inconsistencies.
Oh,
We know that's telling the truth. Everybody knows. We all know we didn't land on the moon.
so they're good enough to fake an entire fucking moon landing with perfect visuals, but they fucked up with their
Perfect
documentation.
visuals.
That was a stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So do you have a page reference, John, that I can look at to find this frequency that you're talking about? Because what I'm finding is completely different from what you're claiming. What I'm seeing, and I'll just let you know, is that Larry Basinger, which is who you were talking about before, which was in Australia, not the U.S., he detected the VHF signals on a frequency of 259.7 megahertz coming from the PLSS system between the astronauts. Wasn't 2 megahertz. It was 259.7 megahertz.
Raggy.
So I'm finding something completely different from what you're saying, 0.3 to 2.3. You're muted, by the way. I didn't mute you, but you're muted.
Yeah, thanks, Chloe. I don't know. Maybe the mod's messing with me, but anyways, yeah, 0.3 to 2.3. Pay MSC Apollo Operational Handbook, or just Google. You could just Google what's the frequency of the PLSS system for Apollo 11.
All right. Apollo PLSS system frequency. I could be sleeping right now.
Hey, Saint Nick.
I could be dreaming.
Do you see this? This is the east. This is the sun. Oh wait, watch this. The shadow. Oh my God! Wait, does that go from west to east? Wait, is that what? Oh, so if the sun rises in the east, right? Oh, and then it passes the moon. That's in its new moon phase. As it crosses the moon, the shadow is cast from west to east. Oh my God. Magic.
Oh, you've just done the whole thing.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to drop down.
What's this guy's name? We need to.
Thanks for having me on, Globy. I'm going to drop him down.
Oh, always a pleasure. All right, John. So I Googled that. I Googled Apollo PLSS system frequency, those exact words. And the first hit is from Space Exploration Stack Exchange. It says, for this reason, Larry Basinger chose to detect VHF signals with a frequency of 259.7 megahertz coming from their PLSS. That was just the first hit.
Did you just say that the eclipse is a shadow as well? Yeah, eclipse is a shadow, is it?
Moon.
It's a shadow. It's when they. Do you not know what eclipse is? What an eclipse is?
You're not going to
Obviously,
educate
you
us.
The eclipse is when the moon.
About the lunar? You're talking about the lunar eclipse, not the solar eclipse, I imagine.
No, the solar eclipse.
That's why you're imagining. That's why you're imagining it's a shadow, but it's not. It's actually when the sun and the moon line up. It's not nothing to do with a shadow. They're cancelling each other out. It's not a shadow.
Are you a clown?
No, I think you are. I think you are, honestly.
The shadow of the moon.
You just tried to use some kind of shadow, like
eclipse.
Yeah, that's you're talking about the lunar eclipse there.
No, the lunar eclipse is when the Earth shadow is cast on the moon.
Earth shadow, exactly. This is not a shadow.
It's the moon shadow.
Yeah,
is blocking out the sun. It's not a shadow at all.
Do you know what an eclipse?
What the fuck?
How could it be a shadow if the sun is supposed to be 93 million miles away behind the moon? How can it be a shadow? It's because they are literally lining up. Otherwise, honestly, mate, you haven't got a fucking clue. I'm not even going to argue it. I'm not in an argumentative state today. This is just hilarious.
No, Nick, please explain. I missed
I'm done, mate. He literally just said that. First of all, he used an experiment showing it was a shadow. It's not even a shadow. It's when the moon and the sun line up perfectly. They're cancelling. The moon is getting in the way of the sun, which is why we can't see the sun or any of its light. That's what it is. That's nothing to do with the shadow, because the shadow is getting cast on Earth, and you just showed us a shadow. You just showed us a shadow from behind. You had the light source behind, and you tried to make it out like that was a representation. Honestly, it's embarrassing talking to these people.
He was looking.
He was saying what?
He was showing the point of view from behind.
I was
not behind the sun. Fucking moon, are we?
I was the sun, you fucking dolt.
He was showing the sun's perspective.
See the shadow. That's the thing.
The shadow he was showing was
he's
the
got to
shadow
attack
on
me with
the
insults now. It's not a shadow though. It's when the moon blocks out the sun. It's not a shadow.
Hold on.
It's not a shadow. We don't see a shadow. It's the moon getting in the way. There is no shadow. Hold on. Don't tell me to pause when you're trying to fucking explain something.
If you're looking,
we do not see a shadow. Can you admit that? The shadow is casting.
We don't see a shadow because we're on.
We don't see the shadow. No, you just tried to use a shadow as some kind of fucking representation. That's not what we do. That's not what happened.
Nick, if you take yourself off the Earth and look at the Earth from space,
but we're
see
not
a shadow on it, right?
We're not doing that. It's only about a 60-mile shadow. Is that right?
Fuck.
It's about 60 miles.
Shadow.
That is not what we're looking at when we're looking at an eclipse, for example. So it's not for the east to west, the west to east. This is not what's happening.
Moving to the west.
Mate, put your fucking stupid experiment away. You don't know what you don't know what you're talking about.
We are in the
solar eclipse.
I'm not in a mood to fucking argue like this today.
Why did you come in?
I don't know. No one else.
Serious. Like, you don't think this is exactly what solar eclipse is?
Thing. We're arguing here. This is what we do.
It's
you came in here and they're
on the sun.
No, I came on just to say you guys still at it. You do this every day. How much?
Absurdity.
Same old.
Complaining about arguing is the fucking stupidest thing I've heard today.
Someone just said the moon casts a shadow on Earth. Yes, it does. That is a fact.
Talk about this shit all the time.
Once again,
we're not viewing it from that perspective. We're on Earth.
I'm gonna break it down for you.
That's like me starting this live and then complaining people are in here arguing. Do you understand how stupid that fucking is, Nick?
What do you mean? I haven't complained. I just said I can't be asked.
You just complained.
No, I didn't complain at all. I just said I can't be asked.
I'm not in the fucking mood to argue.
I'm not in the mood. He was the one who raised his tempo. He raised his voice and started shouting and then started hurling insults at me.
Okay, but you're complaining.
I just said I was very simple with my explanation, and then he got angry by it. So, and then I just thought, you know what? I'm not in the mood for it today. And that was it.
So enough with you.
About it. I'm just saying.
So John,
his representation is so false. It's not. He's trying.
Not. Hold on. I'm not gonna let you just say that.
I'm not gonna let you do.
I'm the sun.
It is
looking at the Earth.
I'm not the sun, mate.
I'm the sun looking at the Earth. The moon is casting a shadow on the Earth. The people on Earth are looking up at the moon, and they're seeing the sun hidden by the moon because they're in the shadow of the moon.
Correct.
How hard is that for you to understand?
No. You got it wrong.
now it says correct.
It's embarrassing.
I was
no,
waiting.
because you said it was the shadow that is getting across. You said it was the shadow, and you showed a shadow going from west to east. Did you not?
West to east. Yes, the shadow is moving from east.
That's not what's happening because we are not. You've got to go now. We're looking at it from the other way because we are not the sun. You've just done your explanation as if you are the sun. We are not the sun. We're on Earth. Yeah. So it's completely. It's
look
the
at it from
opposite.
both
It's just proves my point even further.
All right, we can do this.
Funny.
We can do this.
No,
we
it
can
doesn't
do this.
prove your
Hold on.
point.
No.
It literally proves my point. You
Dumbass.
This demonstration
then you did it
again.
from another perspective as if we're the sun, but we're not the sun.
Fucking shut
I'm
up.
so,
We can see
oh my
this
God.
We can
You're
do this.
talking over me. If you let me fucking finish, then I can.
We don't need to hear you repeat yourself again. We can show you this demonstration exactly again, showing you the shadow go, not the shadow, the covering of the sun from east
That's
to
the
west.
thing. You just said a shadow again. It's not a shadow.
You want to see. You want to see the sun start to get covered by the moon from east to west, but the shadow go west from east on the earth, right?
It's not a shadow. It's the moon getting in the way. It's not a shadow. We don't see the shadow. We're stood in the shadow.
Gets
Saint Nick,
casted
you
on
are
the earth.
in the shadow if you're viewing the eclipse.
No, it's not.
If you can see the goddamn eclipse,
We're in a shadow, but we're
you
not
are
looking
in the
at a
path of
shadow.
the shadow.
It's not a shadow
No,
that's
we're looking
covering
at the
the
sun.
Shadow
sun.
of the moon.
Gentlemen,
Guys, I've been trying to talk for like 5 minutes.
Honestly, I can't do this today. Right, cheers for having me on. But honestly, you're literally denying basic. This is so basic. You're saying that it's a shadow that is.
Dumbest fucking thing to ever shit behind 2 fucking legs. I swear to God.
Bye, Nick. So
What I was gonna
What
say
a
to him
weird
is,
hill.
dumbass, we're in the shadow.
What a weird hill to die on.
if you're looking at the moon blocking the sun, you're looking at a shadow. You're looking at the dark side of the moon. That's the shadow side of the moon.
You're standing in the shadow of the moon.
They stand in the shadow, yes.
Correct.
So fucking dumb. Anyway, John, here's NASA's technical note. Performance characteristics of the Apollo astronaut backpack antenna. I believe this is what you want to see. The performance flexibility, blah, 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 blah. Based on measurements, the voltage. No, I just saw this. Where did I see it? Megahertz. Oh, where did I just see it? Hold on. Oh, here it is. The three operational frequencies of 259, 279, and 296 megahertz were used. So these are the operating frequencies of the backpack antennas, the PLSS antennas of the Apollo astronauts. So do you have a document that contradicts this? I'd like to see it. But the operational frequencies were not 2 megahertz.
Where do you guys get your shit from?
I don't know, but he'll die on this hill. You know, he's not even here. He's got his teacup up. So these were longer wavelength frequencies able to penetrate the ionosphere, and these were picked up by ham radio operators. So, John, I don't know if you heard anything I just said. I don't know if you were gone or what.
I just came back. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is the NASA technical note. Performance characteristics of the Apollo astronaut backpack antennas, the PLSS. Okay, this is the three operational frequencies of 259, 279, and 296 megahertz were used. So these were the operational frequencies of backpack PLSS antennas of the astronauts. High frequency, high frequency. So do you have a document now proving that they're 3 megahertz that you claimed?
I got the internet, man, so I have a different one that says that that's what the operating frequency was. Is what I told
See
you.
it because that would be a contradiction.
Yeah, it is. It's a contradiction. So that's fair enough. I mean,
But I haven't seen your the thing you told me wasn't on that page.
These are like
So I'm in the article right now, and I just bounced back into the live for a second. So let me just step out, and I'll just come back in casually in a minute.
Yeah, please.
All right.
And those are official NASA documents, but you know.
I don't know, man. Look, flat earthers always done it. Sorry, I just closed my screen. Their references always contradict their claims.
Sorry, I lost my thread of thought, but I just can't with that much stupidity.
Well, what is your stand?
What do I need to update?
Inside or outside of the globe?
Do I stand inside? What does that mean? My stance?
Do you believe that there is a space beyond the globe firmament, whether it's flat or not?
Yes, there's no firmament. Earth is a globe and space exists. We landed on the moon. There's no evidence otherwise of anything other than we landed on the moon and space is real and the Earth is a globe.
And relativity is really fucking weird.
Good morning. Nick, you're welcome to come back up if you can handle not losing your shit. I mean, you're the one that came up here and then cried that you weren't in the mood to argue, which is fucking weird.
Can I discuss theory?
Oh, we can.
Sure.
I just did the math of how fast the moon is moving versus the surface of Earth to calculate how much, just using like random numbers from Google for these things, to calculate how fast the solar eclipse shadow should move across Earth, and I matched exactly how fast it moves across Earth. So if anybody cares about that, I can show it, but maybe we could do that after a more fun discussion.
So this is where flat earthers go wrong, right? So we see the Earth, we see the sun and the moon move through the sky from the east to the west, right? The sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Same thing with the moon, right? But the moon is actually orbiting Earth west to east. It's orbiting the same direction the Earth's rotating. They don't understand that. The reason the moon appears to rise in the east is because we're spinning faster than the moon's orbiting around us. So as we're spinning this way, right? It's making the moon appear to go that way. But it's not. It's going this way. It's just going slower than we're turning.
We're turning once every 24 hours. It's coming around us once every 28
days. But they don't get that.
That's why sometimes the moon's up during the day and other times it's not. We're constantly chasing the moon around.
Yes. This is like driving on the highway, right, at 70. And you pass a car that's doing 65, right? You're both going the same direction, but if you just look at that other car, it appears to be going backwards relative to you. It's not going backwards. It's going forwards. It's just going forwards slower than you're going. So relative to your position in the car, it's going backwards. They can't get it. They can't fucking get it. I'm gonna go pee. Sorry.
It's like they can't get that if you were in a plane and you were looking from an outside inertial reference frame, that if the plane were flying to the west, the plane would be going backwards relative to its motion to the west.
Globy, you're not muted. Oh.
Uh-oh. Can somebody mute him? Mod?
Tardog, can you mute him?
I can hear it.
I can hear it as well.
I feel like everybody knows. I don't think it's a big deal. As far as we know, the guy's washing a dish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
But anyway, if anybody cares, I did the math on the paper. I first found out how fast the moon is moving by just saying it orbits once every 28 days. Found out how long that takes. Found out the circumference of the orbit. And then I divided those to find the moon moves about 987 meters per second. And the Earth spins at the equator about 464 meters per second. The difference is about 500 or so. It's about 1,170 miles per hour, which is exactly the speed that you'd expect the solar eclipse to travel at. It's exactly the speed the solar eclipse does travel at. at the equator. So just using numbers off Google, I matched exactly what we expect the shadow to travel at. This is what I meant when I told, I can't remember who it was, that you can prove it's a globe. Yeah, St. Nick. I told St. Nick exactly you can prove it's a globe using these numbers just off Google, and I did. And it took me one piece of paper, and I matched exactly what we observed. So, there you go.
Just ask any flat earther to tell you why the paths of the eclipses are a great circle route.
That's
Oh my god. Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
Globey,
hello.
Wash your hands.
Oh my god. There's no way you guys heard me peeing from 2 rooms over.
I have bad news.
I have really
Well, you know what? Enjoy it.
Now, this is important to me. Did you wash your hands?
But we could hear it.
No, I'm 4 drinks in. I didn't wash my hands. That's my own
Tree
piss.
did fall in
Yeah.
the forest. We heard it. We didn't see it.
No, so literally, my microphone is here. I did not bring my microphone with me. This microphone is so good, it can hear me peeing from the next fucking room.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounded like you were frying chicken in there.
I told him you were washing a dish.
That's fucking hilarious.
Hey, Globey,
Like, you know when you throw bacon, like on a hot skillet? It's kind of like that.
Well, I'll have to remember this microphone is so good. That is true though. When I'm recording videos, sometimes I can like hear my kids talking 4 rooms over. So I probably should have realized that was going to happen.
See, the thing that flat earthers have to contend with is, you know what we want as people who live in reality